YouTube, what's up? It's your boy Crypto J. Welcome to the late night show with Crypto J. Guys, it's 10 o'clock in the PM on the west side, and this show is for all you guys that are on the other side of the world too. All you guys that are watching from home from China, or maybe you're from South Korea, or maybe you're from North Korea, and you're not supposed to be on the internet. But it's regardless, guys. I just got to let you guys know we're going to talk about some Bitcoin today. We're going to talk about some Toshi. We're talking about it all. But I got to let you guys know that I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. So don't buy anything that you see in this video because that would be really dumb. I'm just a YouTuber. So we're going to talk about it, as you guys can see. Total cryptocurrency market cap coming in at 3.25. Bitcoin dropping all the way down to 103.6. The fear greed index looking funky and looking nasty. Right? Coming in at a 55. And people want to know, are we going to drop down into the weekend? Are we going to drop down low right now? Look at this, right? We're coming back into the yellow. And some people didn't expect it. But we talked about the possibility, guys. There was always a possibility that we did need to see a retest of some of these ranges, right? We've seen it happen right here. A lot of consolidation. So again, with China banning crypto and all this stuff, it just seems like they're trying to pump some fear in the market, which in my opinion is something that's very necessary. It was just too greedy. It was getting too greedy. Those guys were feeling a little bit too good. And when they're feeling, I tell you guys, right? When they're greedy, I'm fearful. When they're fearful, I'm greedy. So again, they were a little greedy. And I was already talking about, I was like, guys, we're moving too fast here. Moving too fast, right? But the question is Bitcoin donezo, right? Is a cycle over? Is a cycle over? Or is it going to rise to greatness? Is Bitcoin going to melt faces? That's what people want to know. We're going to talk about what the peanut gallery has to say. We're going to talk about some Toshi, right? As you guys can see on the 1 month, we are no longer really in an uptrend. It seems like we're breaking down, right? This rising wedge was something that we were a little concerned about. Talk about that sideways price action being a lack of volume. We broke down, and it's just been, some more sideways action. We create a shoulder head shoulder here. That's a nasty pattern. I told you guys if we break down below this neckline, we're going to see a spill. Sure enough, that's exactly what happened. We didn't see the pump that we needed on Thursday. Instead, we saw a dump, right? So again, what does this mean going into the weekend? Are we going to see more sell-off going into the weekend? Bitcoin possibly catching some support, or again, do we have a rising wedge here that Bitcoin is now breaking down off of, right? We also talk about this McDonald's M on the channel. Talking about that, I'm not loving it, right? When we make this little McDonald's M, we talked about it many times, guys. We see it play out many times. It played out right here as well. And it played out a couple of times on our fear greed index too. So again, all things that I'm paying attention to. This chart is looking a little bit cooked right now. It looks like we're breaking down. Personally, that's just what I believe. And plus the fact that it's, Friday, there is always a chance that we can bounce up off of this lower level of support. But I think more than likely we're going to break down going into the weekend just because we don't generally pump on the weekend. The market closes on Friday, so it's not going to open up till Monday. I feel like there's just a lot of fear setting into the weekend, so I think that we do see a little bit more sell-off. That's just my prediction. I could totally be wrong. Bitcoin dominance right now is just a little bit high. We talked about that too. Bitcoin dominance coming in at a 63.5. And as you guys could see, just climbing and climbing, right? And when that happens, all coins are dumping. So again, if Bitcoin wants to drop down and have high dominance, then that means that the market's going to drop down as well. We need Bitcoin to start creating higher lows and dropping down in dominance, not to increase in dominance and be dropping down, because again, Bitcoin dominance high, market going down, Bitcoin's going to have heavy influence over the market, it's going to go down, right? So again, this is why a lot of things are looking a little nasty in the past 24 hours, looking like they're possibly showing a little bit of signs of life within the past hour. But again, I'm just paying attention to this price action mostly because the fear greed index is showing an indicator that we need to see a correction, as well as Bitcoin is showing that we need to see some correction. So that's just what I'm personally paying attention to. Again, we saw this little McDonald's M here. We're seeing it here, and we've seen this in the past. So, including right here too, right? Sign of correction, right here. already starting to break down and correcting. So I'm paying attention to that. It's making me think that maybe this trend is starting to change. And one thing that I always say is the trend is your friend. I do not like to bet against the trend. I am looking for better zones of accumulation. But at the same time, if the trend is telling me that the trend is now broken, then I am probably just going to brace myself for some cheaper prices if that's the case. If that actually happens, which again, it's not for sure it's going to happen, but again, we're no longer creating higher lows here. Now we're in a situation where, again, the trend is starting to turn around, and bears look at this as opportunity as well. These guys look at for opportunities to short the market. Some people, believe it or not, only participate in bear trends. They're only looking for short opportunities. They're looking for things that are overpriced where they can get in and short the market. So again, maybe we'll see a lot more shorts start rolling in on Bitcoin. I really have no idea what's going to happen because I don't have a crystal ball. I didn't know that there was going to be a China hack. I didn't know China was going to ban Bitcoin. I didn't know the hack about Coinbase. I didn't know any of those things are going to happen. It's just been a lot of FUD, a lot of craziness, and a lot of things that, again, usually happen surprisingly when we're at zones of key resistance. So Bitcoin now looking like it wants to correct again. Am I freaking out? No, I'm not freaking out. I'm really just more paying attention again to the things that are going to be having volume on this Bitcoin dip. I do think Bitcoin has a good chance of going on and doing some amazing things in 2025. But I was already saying earlier in the correction that I feel like this correction was going to take more until like July. So we'll see. Maybe I'll be right. Maybe I'll be wrong. Last time it took us like from April all the way to August on our last correction. And that was brutal. It was agonizing. It sucked, right? It sucked. So just something that I would pay attention to. As you guys can see, Toshi also seeing a little bit of correction. Let's just get a refresh on the page just so that we got a fresh price, right? Okay, this is a fresh price. As you guys can see, Toshi Coin coming in at 219 million. Starting to see a little bit of the sell-off that is happening with Bitcoin right now, as Bitcoin again starting to capitulate. Can Toshi start catching some levels of support, or again, is this a coin that is going to start seeing some of that volatility? Already breaking down below some key zones, right? Breaking below the 1 day, also breaking below some of our other trends as well. We're holding on this 12-hour here. We have some support back here that we're kind of holding on to, but if we drop down below that support, it's going to put us at around like down here where we touched over here, which is like at 192. We'll see what happens. I mean, we do have a decent level of support also at that 200. Oh, look, we're already starting to break below the second level as well. Interesting on the 3-day, and then the 1 week also looking like a possible retest again at that 200 range. So just some key zones that I'm paying attention to. The 1 month still looking pretty decent, still looking like it's showing signs of volume. If Bitcoin decides it wants to turn up, Toshi Coin can still run up. It could still have a big run. But again, if the market decides it wants to see some nasty sell-off, if it wants to imitate prior cycles and looking like a double top, right? Maybe they're just trying to make it look like a double top. That's kind of a little bit what I'm thinking. We saw this double top play out here, and then now we're seeing a double top play out here. But again, it's just not looking like the top of the cycle. We haven't had that blow off top yet. That's why I'm just thinking that it's like, what is my dog doing? I don't even know. I'm sorry. But that's why I'm feeling like it just feels like FUD right now. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you guys think that we're going to see some more price action? You think it's going to be red? Do you guys think that we're going to find a bottom soon? What do you think? Let me know in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys next video. Peace.